For example, if they did really terribly, like if they were only able to stay underwater and follow directions for 2 seconds, then their goal was 20 seconds. It was too far from where they were, right? So what they found is that if they gave these Navy SEALs in training the direction to set small, attainable goals, so if 2 seconds was their starting point, then they should aim for 3 seconds, right? And then they found that this was extremely useful to actually get them to succeed, because then they could succeed within a range that was closer to where they are, right? Now, if we take this and apply it to the asana practice has a small attainable goal for everyone. Do you know what that goal is? 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finished. Over. Right? 5 breaths. This is a small attainable goal. It's not eternal. You don't need to stay 50 breaths. You don't need to stay 1,000 breaths. You don't need to stay for an hour. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe fast. You're in and out. All right? Then the other thing that's important is that also, what is your alignment goal in the posture? If you say, like, if you can't straighten your arms and back bend, and then today, and then you say to yourself, okay, today I'm gonna stand up and down from back bend. I'm gonna try to grab my ankles. It's like, yeah, man, it's not gonna happen, you know. And you're gonna leave with a failure experience. And they found that the more failure experiences that the Navy SEAL in training got, the worse they did. So failure is sort of accumulated failure. But small little successes, even though those were technically still failures, built on small little successes, generating ultimately more success. Very, very useful. The second tool they found was positive self-talk, right? Positive, realistic self-talk. Now remember, this comes from the Navy SEALs. This isn't like a new age extravaganza, right? This is like Army guys, okay? Like positive self-talk. And what they found was a realistic, positive inner dialogue, not a fanciful inner dialogue, but just like, hey man, I'm doing okay. All right, I can do this a little longer. All right, you know, the morning wasn't so bad. I'm actually doing all right. Let me just stay just a little longer, you know? To be directed at the task at hand. And you know, in postures that are challenging, you start the negative dialogue like way before the posture, you know? You're there and you're thinking about the posture and you're like, ooh, it's coming now. 3 or 4 postures away. Oh no. I wonder how it's gonna go. Oh, I feel tight. I feel so tight. Oh, it's gonna be terrible. I'm so tight. I'm sore from yesterday. Oh, I wonder if I should skip it. Oh, maybe oh, that's what I'll do. I'll skip it. Oh, I can't skip it. I can't skip it. I gotta do it. Oh, it's gonna hurt. You know, and so then you psych yourself out, and then as you're doing it, you're giving yourself negative commentary. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, look at that. Oh, I hurt my back. Oh, my shoulder hurts. Oh, I can't. I'm quitting now. It's over, right? And then, you know, and then afterwards you're like, oh, that was terrible. And if you can focus again on positive self-talk, not necessarily like, wow, that was amazing, that was so good. That's just delusion. Just like, okay, here I am, I'm on my mat, I'm breathing, I'm inhaling, I'm exhaling. Let me just focus on the present moment. Okay, what posture am I in? Good, it's Marichasana A. All right, let me not worry about back bends right now. Let me just focus on the present moment. And then when you get to the back bend, you know, positive self-talk. Okay, I'm here, I'm breathing, I feel my feet, feel my hands. All right, it's a good start. Okay, I'll inhale, I'm going to press. Okay, that's intense. That's intense, but I'm okay. That's intense, but I'm okay. Okay, how many more breaths can I take? I got 2 more breaths. 1, 2, okay, I'm done. I made it. Wow. Well, it wasn't so bad. Can I do 1 more? Oh, okay, I'll try. Rather than like, oh, crap, there's another one, you know. So, positive self-talk and realistic positive self-talk. And they found that what that really does is it keeps the limbic system, the limbic brain under control, and it activates the prefrontal cortex, which is the seat of equanimity, the seat of the present moment, where you're there and you're just sort of, okay, well, this is now, and this is what's happening. And that sort of positive self-talk is a very strong mechanism of self-soothing. So you can soothe the nervous system just by talking yourself into everything's going to be okay. Everything's all right. And what that also allows you to do is be objective. So if something's hurting, you can also remain objective. Oh, that's a little too much. I think I went a little too far. Okay, let me scale it down just a little bit. Oh, and then there I'm okay. And that's a really important thing, because oftentimes when people experience pain, they just go, pain, finished, I'm out. Right? And so sometimes you actually don't need to remove yourself from the posture, but you need to make a small little adjustment or get yourself out of the depth of the posture. Just, you know, like if you're trying to walk your hands in and back bend and you deepen your back bend, just, you know, make the back bend a little less deep and then you'll probably be okay again. So you have to be able to be equanimous and objective in that way. All right? Now, the next tool that they found, so this is tool number 3, And I think they call these like the 4 keys to mental toughness, something like that, you know, something like this. And then the third one is visualization or mental rehearsing. And this is a really important thing because oftentimes when I'm working with students in a posture that's challenging, what I say to them is, well, what were you doing? And they're like, I don't know. You know, I have no idea. You know, I'm just trying to do the posture. Okay, well, what's going on in your hip joint? No idea. I've never thought about my hip joint in that posture. What should it be doing? You know? And so if you don't know, like, how's your body going to know? You're the driver of your body, right? How is the car automatically going to drive you home? You don't know. You have to point the car in the right direction. You're like that. You're driving your body. So if you're in the posture and you don't understand anatomically what goes on sort of point by point through your body, then how are you going to drive the body? You know? How are you going to be the master of the vehicle of the body? So you need to literally, in your mind, go through step by step any movement that you find difficult and analyze it and digest it and sort of visualize it and say, okay, well, so here are the muscles and here are the joints and here's the skeletal structure, and how does the skeletal structure look when it's in a back bend, and visualize that. And then what would my body look like if I can experience that? And so you have to be able to literally play the movie of the posture in your head. And that will also help you rehearse mentally what you'll actually do when you begin to get into the posture. So instead of in back bend, it just being this sort of like heroic lift from the floor, it's like, okay, so I got my thighs, and you can almost scan your body and see, okay, well, there are the thighs, and there are the hip joints, and then there's the pelvis. Okay, what went on with the pelvis? You may be able to feel it, or you may be able to visualize it, but either one, you're still activating the neurological connections inside of the body. Very, very important. There's another study that was done a study done on mental rehearsing or visualization. It was a study of basketball players, and they had 3 test groups, not like professional basketball players, but just people playing basketball as a hobby. And they there were 3 groups, one control that played no basketball. Very important. It is actually important. So they brought the control group in, and then so there's a control group that actually didn't do any practice. Then there was a control group that did only mental rehearsing. Then there was a control group that practiced every day. All right? So then they brought all of the members of the study in, and then they had them all try to shoot the basket. And then they measured where they were, how many successes, how many failures, right? Then the control group that was sent home, do nothing. Very easy, right? Go home, play no basketball. Right? Control. The second group, go home, spend 1 hour a day visualizing throwing the basketball into the hoop, visualize that, mentally rehearse it for 1 hour. Then the third group, practice for 1 hour, right? Then they found that when they brought them back after 1 month and they had that particular control, that the people who actually did the mental rehearsing improved as much and sometimes more than the people who actually practiced. But it wasn't like they just kind of did it in the car. They had a concentrated 1 hour period where they were there trying to visualize. So some people read that and they're like, oh, so I'll just think about yoga and then I can do it. Yeah, if you want to take 90 minutes and like lie down and visualize the whole primary series, okay, like if you're injured or something like that, then that could work. But like you still have to put your energy into it if that's going to pay off. Does that make sense? It's not like, oh, yoga. It's not like that. You really have to like sit there and concentrate, right? Then the fourth tool they found was breath regulation or nervous system control through the vehicle of breath regulation. And that comes, straight from yoga. So the Ashtanga yoga is already giving you that. Control your breath, right? Control and equalize pace of inhalation and pace of exhalation. And do that by conscious breathing. So instead of unconscious breathing, breathe consciously, and then you'll be able to control the nervous system. One of the main reasons why we're meant to seal our lips and breathe through the nose is because open mouth breathing stimulates the panic response. So you start panting with your tongue out, your nervous system starts to read panic, like if you... Right? It's like a dog panting, right? And a dog pants when it's sweating. A dog also pants because they don't have sweat glands. So also poor dog, they have to sweat like that. But when we pant like that, we're exhausted. We have this, it's like you've been running, you're in panic, right? And there's an accelerated sort of breathing that will actually stimulate that fight or flight response inside of the nervous system, okay? So again, part of the reason why we keep the lips sealed is to breathe in and out through the nose. And what you'll find, particularly in back bends, is there'll be this moment when you get exhausted and your mouth wants to open. It's just going to be like, or you'll feel like, right? And you kind of exhale through the mouth, this big like, oh, wow. right? Those sorts of things. And this is like the nervous system kind of giving a quitting moment, right? And so this is why conscious control of the breath is so important when we work with back bends. Does that make sense for everyone?
Yes.
Any questions about those 4 points? Are you good? Okay, I want to actually show you what's going on in the spine, and I've got my iPad in my purse.